What if I told you that I once helped a business go from 1,000 followers to 50,000 followers by just posting short videos every single day? And what if I told you that I took the exact same strategy, copied it step by step, used it with another business, and it didn't work the same way? That's when I learned the truth, that the same video plan does not work for every industry, and honestly, I'm not sure it ever will. Welcome back to the Strategic Motion Podcast, the show where we break down how real businesses use video to grow and why strategy matters more than trends. And today we're talking about something I discovered by doing it myself. Consistency is powerful, like we talked about last episode, but only when the right content matches the right industry. Can't talk today. So what do I mean by this? Well, the best way to explain this is with two real stories from my own experiences with a couple of clients of mine. So the first one, this realtor that hired me to help her with her reels, she went all in. So I worked with a realtor who wanted to grow her Facebook presence and her social media presence on different platforms, mainly Facebook. So we made a plan that we would batch record videos, real videos, and post one a day. And honestly, I don't think that this plan, that most people would even attempt this plan because it takes a lot out of you, honestly. So we did one video, one reel a day for about 90 days, and she committed. She came in once a month. We recorded 30 for the next month, and we uploaded them every day, and she didn't miss a recording. So after those first 90 days, she was seeing some pretty good traction. So she had already had 1,000 followers on her Facebook page, and after the first 60 to 90 days, it started growing significantly. And then she dialed up the content. She started posting 2 videos a day for months after that. So she would come in and we would batch record about 60 to 65 videos, and then she would upload 2 a day. So what happened when we started doing this? Well, her page took off. She went from 1,000 followers, like I said earlier, to over 50,000 followers in the next 9 months on Facebook. And so it was working. It was working for her. It was all organic. She stayed consistent. It was industry appropriate video content, because in real estate, that style kind of works. If it's fast paced, you can throw in some educational content for buyers and sellers. If it's personality driven, so I believe when you buy from a realtor, you want to buy from a person. You don't really pick a company. You pick the realtor and the person. If their values and morals and whatnot align with yours, or that person is more like your personality, then you're going to go with them. And so she really let her personality shine through these videos. She also gave local market insights. But she was constantly visible, like we talked about on episode, what episode was that? Like we talked about, I think it was episode 3. Consistency is key to when it's posting on social media. So she was constantly visible. And real estate thrives on momentum and familiarity. That's not a great word. I can't say that. Familiarity. And daily video fed those two things perfectly, momentum and familiarity. I still can't say it. Anyway, so she grew significantly. So I thought, hey, I got this other client in health insurance, 316 Health Insurance. What if we applied the same strategy to this industry? And Jason, he was on, Jason Garraway, the owner, he was on episode 2. If you want to go listen to that episode, we had a good talk about a little bit about this and how it worked over the long run, but it didn't work in the short term like it did for the realtor I just talked about. So let's see how we went about it. So 316 Health Insurance was the next experiment. We took the same approach, same consistency mindset, the same idea, which was volume plus value equals growth. But here's the twist. It didn't produce the same explosive results as the Realtor. Now, did the content actually perform? Well, over time it did. So it's been roughly a year and a half since we produced his last reel when we were doing them 2 a day. One reel has slowly grown to 23,000 views, and it was all about the ACA. So it was educational content. Several others of the reels that we produced for him are in the 2,000 plus range. So are those good numbers? I think so. But the big follower jump didn't happen. So he has a 23,000 viewed reel, but his follower jump went from 0 to 175. Little bit of growth. So it wasn't viral, and there wasn't rapid audience expansion by any means. It just didn't happen. So why didn't it happen? Well, because health insurance is a completely different landscape. The buying cycle is a little slower. The topic is much heavier because I think 316 Health Insurance, they say sometimes they meet people on the worst days of their life. They're trying to get through something. People need more trust and less entertainment with insurance. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Viewers watch differently. I think they're more looking for education and trying to figure out things that they don't know. And so followers may not instantly, or people may not instantly follow you once they see a reel if it's educational. They might only follow when they need something when it comes to insurance. So was the content good? Yes, the content was always produced professionally. The content was always good about the company, about the people that work there. We did client testimonial reels. We did educational reels. But the industry dynamics, it just changed the outcome of the strategic motion that we had in place, right? So strategy has got to match the industry. So these two experiments taught me what most marketers miss is that a content plan that works beautifully in one industry can be just okay or even ineffective in another industry in some cases. Because every industry has different things. They have different trust triggers, different audience behavior. The pacing and the tone needs to be different. They have different urgency levels, decision timelines, and just overall emotional expectations. So we went from one realtor who was telling all these crazy stories about the things in realty that have happened to her over the many years she's been doing it. And some were crazy. And she didn't hold back at all, which made it really engaging to watch and listen to. Where then we went to educational videos about health insurance. And honestly, there's only so many things that you can talk about until the industry changes in the health insurance market, which it has and which it will continue to do. But that takes time to tell that story. So, what do we learn from all this? Realtors can post twice a day and possibly blow up their channel. Dentists might not be able to do that. Restaurants can get away with trends, but senior living places probably can't. Insurance requires education and not a lot of entertainment. And contractors probably require proof and not much personality. You could argue that, though. So, what is the best way to build an industry-specific video plan? Well, you could definitely use this framework. Couple of questions. What does your audience fear? And what does your audience desire? So, fear. In real estate, they may be making a bad investment. They're fearful of that. Insurance, they could be feeling confused and unprotected, not knowing where to go, what doctors they can go see from what insurance they have, all these different things, right? So what do they actually desire? In real estate, they desire a new home, or they desire selling their old home or buying investment properties. Or maybe they just like a different lifestyle. Maybe they're like a real estate agent that is confident. In insurance, people are really just looking for clarity and trust. They want to know the information that they are being given is trustworthy and true, and they don't want to feel like they're getting ripped off, right? So what kind of content earns that kind of trust? That's your strategy. That's what you put into your reels and into your video content, not whatever's trending. So I always talk about consistency. Consistency definitely works, but it's only when it's paired with the right message. So your industry will determine your content style, not the algorithm. So copying a strategy is really easy, but building the right one is the smart way to go. I promise we've done this. This is the Film Talk segment. One of my favorite parts is strategic motion. We're going to talk about A Christmas Story. It's December 9th. It's Christmas time, holiday. It's just in the air. So it always reminds me of little old Ralphie and his BB gun obsession. Yes, the movie is called A Christmas Story, and it's about Ralphie wanting the Red Ryder BB gun. And every boy, I don't know, how old is he in the movie, like 9 or 10, maybe 11, but every boy that age just wants a Red Ryder BB gun, right? I wanted one forever, but I finally got one. I actually got one. I won it in a BB gun shooting contest. I won first place, actually won a BB gun. So that was pretty cool. But in the movie, he has all these fantasy sequences, where he's fighting a Black Bart and all his bandits, and he shoots them in the butt and stuff like that. But they're all over the top and exaggerated pretty well, like Ralphie's an old cowboy. But the whole saying throughout the movie is, you'll shoot your eye out, and everybody thinks he's just going to shoot his eye out with this BB gun. But funny story, the BB gun that I had as a kid, I shot a piece of wood that was probably 10 feet away, and the BB bounced back and hit me square in the nose. And I instantly heard that in my head. You'll shoot your eye out. Yeah, so can you shoot your eye out with a BB gun? Probably not, but it might hurt if you get one lodged in there. I don't know if it's possible, but it could happen. So then you have Fragile, the fragile leg lamp scene. It's one of my favorite scenes. The leg lamp, it's iconic. I've always wanted to put one in my front window, but my wife just won't have it. But we did go to dinner with some friends last night, and there's a couple there that are obsessed with this movie as much as I am, and they both would love to have the leg lamp in their front window. So that's pretty fantastic. They have a little one, but I think they're going to go ahead and get the big one. I hope they do. So did you have an old man like Ralphie's old man who would go down in the basement and beat the furnace and swear like a sailor, or worse? Yeah, I didn't have that dad, but I know a lot of people out there did. And my wife patted me on the back and said last night, hey, that sounds kind of like you. But honestly, really, I don't think it does. Anyway, so another favorite scene of mine is the triple dog dare scene. I hear my kids double dog daring each other all the time, but we know not to stick your tongue on a frozen flagpole because it could get stuck, and that would hurt ripping it off. Just like Ralphie's buddy, can't think of his name. I think it was Flick. Yeah, Flick sticks his tongue to the flagpole and it gets stuck, and the fire marshals have to come and get him off of there. Such a good scene. So then you have at the end, Ralphie and his little brother, they visit the, before we get to the end, cannot leave out the bully, right? What's his name? Oh my gosh. Scut. Scut Farkas. Yeah, every time they would run and walk to school, Scut Farkas and his little bully, little kid bully would always just grab one of them and, tell him to say uncle while he's like twisting their arm. But Ralphie gets so mad one time, he just beats the ever living snot out of this dude, and he starts saying all these swear words like his dad, but it's like muffled so you can't really hear what he's saying. But man, that's just the best scene. And his little brother thinks that Ralphie's dad's gonna come home and kill him because he got in a fight after school. Man, such a good scene. We all had that one bully kid back in the 80s, right? Or, whenever you grew up. Yeah. He got his. He deserved it. And then what is another favorite scene? The very last scene when they go to the Chinese restaurant because the neighborhood dogs come in and wreck the turkey at their house, and they eat the turkey. So there's nothing to eat for Christmas lunch and dinner. And so they go to a Chinese restaurant and they have duck. And they have to cut the head off the duck or goose or whatever it is. And they're singing fa ra 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 ra. Cracks me up every time I see it. So if you haven't seen the movie A Christmas Story, my wife absolutely hates this movie. She won't watch it with me. But I've started watching it every Black Friday. And my kids have seen it. And they think it's funny, but they don't get it like I get it, I guess. Because I think you just had to be a kid to really enjoy this movie when it came out. So anyway, that's it. A Christmas Story. That's the film talk here. Absolutely love that movie and watch it every season. And we'll be talking about a few more Christmas movies as December winds down. But hey, comment below. Tell me your favorite Christmas movie. I would love to hear it. And if it's one that I haven't seen, I would love to catch it. That's it, folks, for today's Strategic Motion podcast and the film talk segment. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in episode 6.